Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking a revolution in SPF protection, more specifically hybrid sunscreens. We're going to discuss what they are, how they could benefit your skincare routine, who they're most applicable for, and ultimately I'm going to be giving you my favourite recommendations for the best tried, tested and independently verified hybrid sunscreens on the market. So if you want to get on board with the new trend or learn a little bit more about the efficacy of hybrid sunscreens themselves, keep on watching. So I guess the best place to start is, what are hybrid sunscreens? Well, like all trends, revolutions, new innovations, they've actually been around for quite some time. However, recently bigger cosmetic companies have started to understand the appeal and really start to formulate their own brands. And so you should see a lot more hybrid sunscreens come onto the market in the next couple of years. At its basis, they are a mixture of chemical and mineral sunscreens. I know some people out there prefer the term organic and inorganic, but the most commonly used ones are chemical and mineral sunscreens, and that's what we're going to stick to. Just keep it simple, keep the terminology simple, and they're the ones we're going to be using throughout this video. Chemical sunscreens are absorbed onto the skin. They then work in tandem with the skin to absorb any UV light which comes in contact and prevent it doing any damage. Mineral sunscreens work in a similar way. They do some version of absorption, but they also act as like a shield and they repel some of the UV rays as well. So they work very differently, but they both offer great protection against the harmful rays of the sun. We often see people gravitate towards one or the other, and this is great conflict in the skincare world about which is the best. A lot of people say they want to avoid chemical sunscreens because they can sting the eyes, they can irritate the skin, and some people do worry that they're absorbed into the bloodstream and could do damage down the line that's yet to be proven. There's no actual science to say that it's categorically that is the case and it does do long-term damage. However, some people are worried that that could come out in the next couple of years, and so they're moving away from chemical sunscreens. Similarly, a lot of people then gravitate towards the mineral sunscreens. They tend to be higher in price, which can be off-putting for some people, and I'm all about skincare and sun care being accessible, but they tend to be higher in price. Also, they use two common filters, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which are white in colour, and so they often leave a pigment on the skin, that white cast, the ashiness, almost like a lavender hue on some darker skin tones, and so they're not universally accessible for all, and usually people with darker and richer skin tones struggle with the look of mineral sunscreens on their skin. So hybrid sunscreens promise to kind of be the best of both worlds. They limit the exposure to chemicals because they minimize the amount of chemical filters needed, but they also reduce the amount of white cast that you're going to see on the skin because they use half and half. It's not always that clear cut, a 50-50 split, but by combining the two, you hope to get the best of both worlds. For me, I always stress, it doesn't matter, I don't care whether you use a mineral, a chemical, a hybrid, I honestly couldn't care less so long as you're using an SPF. The most important thing for our skincare routine, for our anti-aging, for our skin health, for preventing cancers, is so important that you wear an SPF of a broad spectrum of the right SPF level for your skin type, where you are in the world, and any underlying medical conditions that you might have. You need to factor all that in to choose the right one for you. I personally don't care whether you choose chemical, mineral or hybrid, it's really down to personal preference. But I do think that the hybrids do offer something new in the market. They allow you to have that element of chemical filters, which a lot of people say are more elegant, easy to apply and blend better with the skin, but also in lower quantities than you'd normally have in a standalone chemical sunscreen. You also get the benefits of the mineral sunscreens, which can be mattifying, particularly if you have oily skin types like mine, but also will cut down on the chemical usage whilst minimizing, again, because you're using it alongside the chemical, the amount of white cast that you're going to get. I'm actually quite on board with hybrid sunscreens. I don't think they're the revolution that's going to sweep the sun care industry and that some people claim. They've actually been around for some time, but I'm really glad that companies are getting on board with this and giving the consumer choice. So let's cut the waffle and the chit chat and let's jump in and talk about the best hybrid sunscreens that are available on the market. A lot of sunscreen technology actually comes out of Asia, particularly Japan has been really innovative in the last couple of years, and a lot of the Japanese brands are now using hybrid technology. So I'm going to start with one that I know and I love. All of these products that I mentioned today are tried, tested and independently verified, so you know that you're getting the right level of protection, because there's no point reaching for a hybrid that doesn't live up to the claims on the bottle. I always gravitate towards Biore. This is their UV fluid. This one isn't a hybrid. However, this has been tried, tested and independently verified, so you know that Biore have a good handle on their quality control, their formulations and the robustness of their testing. They actually do a UV milky brightening fluid. This is really interesting and innovative. A, because it's fragrance free. So most of Biore, including this one, have fragrance to it. So if you want a fragrance free option, this is really good. And this is one of their only hybrid sunscreens. Sunscreens. This works with a blend of those chemical and mineral filters, as we said, and works so well on the skin. It's really different to anything you've probably ever tried before because it goes on the skin as like a gel, creamy gel consistency and dries down as a powder. It says it's brightening because it does actually almost give a blurring to the skin, which is really nice, and it can act almost as a primer. I'd say this definitely works best for people with lighter skin tones, and for me it gave a really nice look. It blended beautifully with my skin and it didn't give me any ashiness or any flashback. It also did give that pore blurring look that a lot of people go for and worked really well under some concealer that I then put on afterwards. I think because of that brightening technology that they employ in this, which obviously does have an element of colour correction to it, I think this would look quite ashy on people with darker and richer skin tones, so I'll call that out, and I do have a really good recommendation later on for people with darker skin tones, so this probably would be a pass. But if you have a lighter skin tone, this is a beautiful hybrid product. This one isn't available in stores here in the UK or North America, you have to buy it online, but for people who do want to try something totally different, totally innovative, and add an element of brightening and priming to a hybrid sunscreen, this kind of does it all, and I absolutely love it. It's fragrance free, but it does contain drying alcohols. Most Japanese and Asian sunscreens do contain some element of alcohol. Just makes it easier and nicer to apply, particularly in humid climates, so you will find that. I do, however, for people that want to exclude alcohol from their skincare routine, I do have some alcohol-free options coming up, so don't worry, just keep on watching. This one, really good for those with lighter skin tones, and it's not a break-the-bank price, but you do have to check the shipping and the import costs, obviously, wherever you are, which may add some element to the cost of it. So far, I am in love with this product and I'll keep on using it. Now we're going to move on to CanMake and their Mermaid Skin Gel. I actually already covered this on a video I did on favourite Japanese sunscreens, which I'll leave a link to up there. These are both tried, tested and independently verified, and they do two versions. They do one for, which they call the white, which is for lighter skin tones, and they do the invisible and the clear, which works beautifully, literally beautifully on people with darker, deeper and richer skin tones. Both of them are alcohol free, both of them are hybrid, and they are just stunning. This is a total Instagram favourite brand because it's so colourful, bougie, it looks gorgeous, it looks Instagram worthy, and you know, it will go beautifully on anyone's vanity in their bathroom. I really love these products because that alcohol free means it's not as drying and they blend so well into the skin. I like that they have the options for each skin type. The invisible kind of just works for everybody, and that's probably the one that I go for. The white one adds an element of brightening to the skin, which is very popular in Asian cultures, which is probably why they do have this in their range. I personally would just go for the invisible and use it because I don't think, you know, for me that's not a priority, but it is a beautiful product, whichever one you choose. The hybrid technology here I think is employed at its best because these are truly invisible. You're cutting down on the amount of chemicals in here because you've got reduced chemical filters because you have that mineral aspect in there as well, and yet there's no ashiness, no lavender hue to the skin, no flashback. It's just beautiful products. You don't get a lot in either of these bottles, so it's definitely for the face rather than the body, but you know what, if you treat yourself to this, you will absolutely love it. Now that one was a little bit up there in price, let's not lie, that was a little bit up there in price, especially when you factor in any shipping. So if you want to go total drugstore, you know, easy to use, really affordable, then I recommend this. This is the Altruist Face Fluid. So I've been raving about this on a separate video I did on Altruist Sunscreens. I love them that much, I cover them all in a separate video. I'll leave a link to it up there. Check that video out if you want to see them in action, see how they apply on the skin, and talk about the differences in the different formulations they do. They do two formulations that are hybrid. They do this, which is the SPF 30 cream, and they do this, the face fluid, which is the SPF 50. This works so well on almost all skin tones. I absolutely loved it. If you're super dry, you might want to go for the creamier formulation that I think probably will work better to add that hydration. But for oily skin people, oh, this is a dream. Both of these are hybrid and they both include antioxidants as well. So if you want to get your antioxidant hit alongside your SPF all in one product, both of these are really good. I'd probably go for if I had to choose between the two, I'd go for the face fluid, which is so light, so hydrating, won't clog the pores, tried, tested, independently verified. I just think genuinely one of the best products. This is £6. So if you thought the CanMake, when I'm going to leave the links to all these products and the prices below. So if you think the CanMake is a little bit up there in price, but you can get your hands on some hybrid technology, this is a great option. I love it. They do an aerosol spray. That isn't hybrid, that's a purely chemical sunscreen, so I'll call that one out. If you want to go hybrid, you have to go between one of these two options. Both of them linked below, and both of them absolutely stunning. Now, I just mentioned that the Altruist Sun Aerosol, the spray, isn't a hybrid. However, you can get a hybrid spray. For people that like those spray-on SPFs for ease, especially if you're reapplying during the day, a spray can be a really good option. I don't gravitate towards them because I always feel like you're spraying everyone in the vicinity, not just yourself. But for people that love them, there are some great options. And I would go for the Soleil Toujours. That is the worst bit of French pronunciation. If you're French, you're allowed to read me to filth in the comments below for that pronunciation. But they do a UV spray in SPF 30. This is actually on sale over at Cult Beauty at the moment, so I'm going to leave a link to that below. It's half price at Cult Beauty, so if you want to try it over at Cult Beauty, which I've had great experiences shopping on there, I think they ship worldwide. So this is really accessible and it's half price at the moment. So if you want to save some money, you can. The SPF 50 that they also do was out of stock, also was on sale, but was out of stock. So I try that one, but I think the SPF 30 is the one that's in stock at the moment. This is one of the few hybrid aerosol sprays that you can get and is beautiful, truly invisible. And I think this, alongside like the Can Make one, show why a lot of people like the idea of a hybrid sunscreen. Totally invisible, no ashiness, no white cast, and yet combines those mineral filters that we all feel a bit more safe with and love, alongside some chemical ones. So you're minimizing the chemical exposure to those filters, but also minimizing the amount of white cast and ashiness. This beautiful combination. I'd say it's a little bit on the drying side. So if you have super dry skin, this probably isn't the one for you, and I go for the Altruist cream instead. For me, I think hybrids are a really great innovation. Do I think they're going to change the skincare world? No. Do they think they're the best thing that's ever come out in sun care? No. But I do think it's a nice innovation. It's something a little bit different. It's been around a while. Yeah, I'm glad that bigger companies are cottoning onto them. I think you can kind of get in the best of both worlds. You're getting the reduction in chemical filters, which appeals to a lot of people that want to cut back on that. But also you're maintaining the high level performance by including those mineral filters without the ashiness and the white cast. It's the most inclusive version of sunscreen, because we often feel like if you have dark, deeper and richer skin tones, you're forced to go to chemical sunscreens. If you have lighter skin like myself, you can use either and you can get away with it. I think the hybrid is a nice hybrid that kind of suits everybody, and I'm all about that. I like that there is a price point for everyone. Altruist, if you're super affordable in your skincare and you want to keep the price really low, Altruist is one of the most high performing I've found, and I love it. If you're looking to splurge, go a little bougie, have something that looks nice on the vanity. That Can Make is so good. Their Mermaid UV gel, beautiful. Whichever one of these you choose, you're getting great tried, tested and verified protection, which is the main thing. You're minimizing your chemical exposure, at the same time minimizing the white cast and ashiness. Win, ding. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Have you tried any of these? Have you been inadvertently using a hybrid sunscreen all along? Leave me a comment below. Let me know if any of these tickle your fancy. Just leave me a comment, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you later. Take care.